Today, 2 months into this metabolic reset, walking after every meal is no longer a must, but I try to do it as much as possible, and I'd like to explain why. Hello, and welcome back to the Morningwood Chronicles. My name is Gerard, I'm 60 years old, and today is day 62 of a 180-day experiment to see if artificial intelligence can help guide me back towards metabolic health. Let's dive in. When I began this process to reset my metabolism just over 2 months ago, one of the non-negotiable recommendations made by ChatGPT and artificial intelligence was that I must walk after every meal. The recommendation was to walk for minimum of 10 minutes. And the reason for that is because when I started all of this, my insulin level was chronically high. And so walking after meals gave a place for the glucose that I ingested in the form of food, a place to go. According to ChatGPT, from a scientific and physiological perspective, movement of major muscle groups after a meal can reduce glucose spikes and flatten the glucose curve post-meal by 30 to 50%, which is really significant. And on day one, when I started this, my insulin was chronically high. When it came down to baseline, the baseline was 130, 125. So really in the diabetic range. And so the walking was absolutely essential, together with the sequencing of proteins, fats, fibers before carbs, and eliminating electronics from bed. So those three things together had the biggest impact in interrupting the chronically high insulin levels that I was experiencing in my body. And the process happened pretty quickly because it was within 2 or 3 weeks I started to see differences. And I've documented many of those in my previous videos here from the forests of Washington State. So if you're interested in how that process worked for me, I invite you to check out earlier videos, as well as the Substack, which is linked below in the description, which contains more detail, is in written form, and also a place where I have uploaded all of my past lab work and blood work for reference purposes. So fast forward to today, and I'm still walking after meals. After most meals, I like to walk as a way of kind of closing the meal. And what I'm learning, which is really hard for my mind to wrap around, according to ChatGPT, is that those walks are no longer necessary. They may be helpful, they may feel good, there can be a lot of reasons to continue doing them when it's possible and when it's practical. But my system, by all apparent accounts, the fact that I continue losing weight, the fact that I have good energy, that my sleep is improving, all of these factors together, as well as some glucose measurements that I've started taking over the last 3 or 4 weeks approximately, indicate that my body is now able to process glucose in a way that it wasn't before. And so while walking was critical, today it's an option. And it's an option that I try to exercise as much as possible because my brain just hasn't caught up yet to the fact that my body can now process the foods that I ingest without spiking my glucose and my insulin. So walking is very dear to me, and I think I will talk about walking again in a future video. In the meantime, I'm waiting for the final messages from my doctor to address the latest blood work results. Hopefully that'll be in the next day or two. We'll find out together because I'm going to reveal them right here. And I thank you then for tuning in today, and I hope to see you again for another episode of the Morningwood Chronicles.